Eustace Conway has long been admired as the ultimate mountain man, a symbol of self-reliance and deep connection with nature. From his first steps into the Blue Ridge Mountains at 17, he built a life defined by simplicity, skill, and reverence for the natural world. Yet beyond the heroic public image captured on shows like Mountain Men, there was a more mysterious and profound story unfolding. Eustace's life in the wilderness was not just a tale of survival or adventure. It was a spiritual and almost supernatural journey that drew him closer to the land than most could imagine. Over time, the wilderness he cherished began to shape him in ways that blurred the line between human and nature, creating experiences that would shock even those closest to him. His family's recent revelations uncover the hidden truths behind his retreat from the spotlight and the strange occurrences at Turtle Island Preserve. Early life and founding. Turtle Island. Eustace's fascination with nature began as a teenager when he first wandered into the forests of North Carolina. He had a unique ability to read the land, interpret its rhythms, and live in harmony with its demands. By founding Turtle Island Preserve, Eustace created more than just a sanctuary. He built a place where others could learn traditional skills like chopping wood, tanning hides, and living away from modern distractions. His dedication to teaching and preserving these forgotten ways earned him admiration, but also began to reveal the depth of his spiritual connection to the land. Those close to him noticed early signs of this bond, sensing that Eustace didn't simply occupy the wilderness, he was intertwined with it. Family members recalled his frequent long silences and intense focus on the forest, hinting at the profound relationship that would later dominate his life. The transformation begins over time. Eustace's connection to the wilderness evolved into something almost mystical. Family and friends began noticing changes in his behaviour. Letters became sparse, visits shorter, and his voice quieter. He referred to the forest as she, acknowledging it as a living presence, almost sentient. Visitors to Turtle Island described eerie nights filled with strange sounds and whispered voices that seemed to emanate from the trees. Even close friends noted that Eustace would wander alone at night with a lantern and journal, speaking softly in an unfamiliar language. These actions reflected a man who was experiencing the forest on a level beyond comprehension. While the outside world celebrated his survival skills, the wilderness itself was quietly transforming him, testing his mind and spirit as he navigated between the modern world and the ancient rhythms of the mountain. The hidden cabin and mysterious journals. The turning point in Eustace's journey came when his nephew discovered a hidden cabin deep within Turtle Island. The structure, concealed by thick foliage, contained countless journals detailing strange phenomena and encounters with what Eustace called the Watchers. His writings included observations of animal behaviour, weather patterns, and symbols carved into trees, alongside unsettling notes about unseen beings that roamed the woods at night. One entry, left shortly before Eustace disappeared for 3 days, ended abruptly with smudged dirt and dried fingerprints, hinting at a supernatural or deeply unsettling experience. Initially dismissed as the ramblings of isolation, the family soon realised the precision of his ecological observations, and the profound nature of his experiences could not be ignored, suggesting something far beyond ordinary understanding was unfolding. The 3-day disappearance. Eustace's 3-day disappearance marked a terrifying episode for the Conway family. Search parties combed every inch of Turtle Island without finding any trace, as if he had been swallowed by the forest itself. When he returned, barefoot and covered in scratches, he was distant, muttering, "The forest took me." For weeks, he refused to enter his cabin, slept outdoors, and spoke incoherently about tunnels of light and ancient entities beneath the soil. His family watched helplessly as he oscillated between fear and clarity, convinced that unseen forces within the wilderness were interacting with him. This disappearance became a turning point, demonstrating that Eustace's bond with the land had moved beyond a metaphorical connection and into a realm of profound and possibly supernatural engagement. Signs of the mountain's awareness. Following the disappearance, Eustace's family witnessed strange phenomena that further emphasised his claim that the land itself was conscious. Severe storms struck Turtle Island, yet areas around the wooden totems Eustace had carved remained untouched. Wildlife acted unusually, with deer avoiding familiar paths and birds migrating early. The symbols and carvings he left seemed to hold power, marking boundaries and reminding the land of his presence. Eustace described feeling watched by an ancient intelligence embedded in the soil and roots, reinforcing the idea that the mountain retained memory and responded to human actions. The family began to understand that Eustace was not losing touch with reality, but navigating a relationship with nature that humans rarely experience, one governed by rules older than recorded history. Revelation of the ancient burial site. Eustace later shared with his family the discovery that triggered his descent into this heightened perception of the wilderness. While exploring a remote area of the mountain, he uncovered what appeared to be an ancient burial site, complete with bones, carved stones, and spiral symbols. Touching these stones awakened a profound awareness of the land's consciousness, accompanied by whispers and subtle warnings. Eustace described the experience as the mountain speaking directly to him, emphasising that some areas should never be disturbed. This encounter not only explained his strange behaviours, but also framed his entire life at Turtle Island as a dialogue with the natural world, where respect and observation were paramount, and the land itself exerted a moral and spiritual influence over those who entered it. The mountain's living presence. After this revelation, Eustace's actions reflected a deep understanding that the land was alive, aware, and capable of response. He carved totems, left offerings, and followed rituals designed to maintain harmony with the mountain. These practices ensured the preservation of balance, as evidenced by the survival of trees during violent storms in areas where his totems were placed. Eustace's perspective on nature evolved from survivalist pragmatism to a spiritual symbiosis, recognising that every storm, movement of animals, and gust of wind carried messages. The family observed this transformation, initially fearful that he had lost his mind, but eventually accepting that he had tapped into an extraordinary form of ecological and spiritual awareness that few humans could comprehend, legacy and mystical connection. Eustace Conway's story challenges conventional understanding of wilderness, humanity, and consciousness. The journals he left behind have been studied for their ecological precision, documenting changes in wildlife and weather patterns ahead of scientific measurement. Beyond science, they reveal a man engaged in a living conversation with nature, a dialogue that transcends conventional perception. His family now frames his legacy not as a tale of madness or isolation, but as one of transformation, illustrating that Eustace's time in the mountains allowed him to become something more than human, a living part of the land itself. His experiences continue to inspire reverence, mystery, and a profound respect for the natural world. Life at Turtle Island today. Today, Turtle Island remains both a sanctuary and a living monument to Eustace's extraordinary life. The lodge still stands, the forests remain dense, and locals occasionally see smoke rising, though Eustace himself is rarely glimpsed. His family visits sporadically, leaving supplies at the trailhead, respecting the boundaries he has established. On the anniversary of his disappearance, the ridge where he was last seen glows faintly, a phenomenon that scientists attempt to explain, but that his family interprets as a sign of the mountain's ongoing memory and recognition. Visitors and researchers alike continue to study his writings and artefacts, gaining insight into his symbiotic relationship with nature, a connection that defies conventional understanding, yet profoundly shapes the story of Turtle Island. Conclusion: a dialogue with nature. Eustace Conway's life is a testament to the power and mystery of nature. Beyond survival skills and public admiration, he experienced a level of communion with the land that few humans will ever know. His family's revelations show that his story is not one of isolation, but of profound transformation, where a man became part of the wilderness itself. Whether his experiences were mystical, ecological, or both, they illustrate that nature holds depths and intelligence that humans rarely perceive. Eustace Conway's legacy endures through his journals, totems, and the preserved land of Turtle Island, reminding us that the earth remembers every soul that listens, and that the boundaries between humanity and the natural world are far more permeable than most dare to imagine.